Hey there, good afternoon. It's time for our midday chat. It's time for our midday chat. Now, we're not just on Women in Ministry page this time around. We're pushing it to some other areas. But those of you who generally grab this live, or maybe you'll grab it later, just want to say to you, it's that time again. Can you tell somebody it's that time again? Well, what are we talking about? Let's look to the Lord and then we'll get right to it. Lord, please let the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart, be acceptable in your sight. Lord, you are our strength. You are our Redeemer. Well, listen, during this time of year, we hear so many people talking about New Year's resolutions and things like that, change. But you know what? Something struck a chord with me. I wrote about it actually in my recent book, but it has to do with dreams. And I saw that somebody was writing about, dreaming again, and sometimes discarding dreams or reinventing or looking over your dream and seeing, is this really where I am right now? Is this really what I still want, or do I want something else? So I went back and I looked at what the Lord had given me with regard to that. And he would have us to dream and to believe. You see, a lot of individuals who are talking about dreaming and moving forward and what we're going to do for the new year, their mind is not on the Lord. Their message has nothing to do about him or do with him. But what I want to say is, as you're dreaming, remember that he is the dream giver. The Lord is the dream giver. This is something that originates, first of all, in our spirits, in our minds, and then the Lord will help us to bring it to pass if we will yet believe. That's why I say dream and believe. If you can grab a hold of what's been planted in you and really believe that it can happen, right? And so I do believe with those who are talking about that there may be some old dreams that we have to discard right now. Maybe you realize that, you know what, that's what I used to want, but I don't want that anymore. Lord, help me to know where it is that you're leading me now, because my passion for that has waned. But I think we need to be very real about whether or not our passion has waned or our flicker is dying out because of the fact that maybe this is a dream that God gave, but we're running away from that, or we're pushing back away from it, right? We're pushing against it because it doesn't look like us. I want to say this to you. Don't allow anybody to talk you out of what God has given you to do or to be, the dream that he's put in your spirit. So that's why we seek him first. He just said, acknowledge me. Acknowledge me in all your ways. I'll direct your path. But as we're coming to the end of another year, here we are at the end of 2022. No, we don't know what tomorrow holds, but certainly we have this gift of reflection, and we can reflect back on what has already happened during this year. Are there dreams within you, my friend, that are lying dormant? Yeah, only you can answer that. Are there things that continue to come up again? You feel like, oh, I believe that the Lord keeps giving me this, but it just doesn't look like me. And, I shared it with my friend. They said it doesn't seem like me. And see, sometimes that's where we get off. is because oftentimes when the Lord is showing us something, no, it doesn't look like us, not the us we know. And it certainly may not be something that our friends can identify with, because the Lord is the one who is the dream giver, and he knows where he's taking you. So I'm going to come today and encourage you to dare to believe the dream that he's given to you as we're on the cusp of another year. Is it possible that the Lord wants to do something in you and through you and with you that he's never done before? If you could ever dream it. Yeah, there's some who have a slogan, dream big. Well, you know, the Lord has already given us that as believers. We always believe that God can do and will do exceeding abundantly above all that we could ask or think, even dream, right? So dare to grab a hold of what the Lord has put in your spirit. You may say, oh, I've been thinking about this for years. Well, you're on the cusp of another year. Do not talk yourself out of it. Don't let others talk you out of it. Because, see, they don't know what God has for you. People think they know us, but they don't know us. Oftentimes, we're not even aware of what God has put in us and all that is in us. We have a lot that is lying within us that is really potent. And when we have things that are lying in us that are potent, that we're not using, it's called potential. Yeah, potential, but it's meant to be brought forth and used by God. What is it that you have? Are those dreams that really God has given, but you've discarded or rejected? If that's it, take a good look at that, right? Is it something that perhaps you're fearful of, and that's why you've not moved in it? But God is saying, dare to do it again. Dare to try it again. Don't let anybody talk you out of it. See, whenever we're dreaming, oftentimes I'm talking about when we're thinking of a thing that God has put in our spirits. Let me share this with you, and then we'll get off here. Oftentimes we try to sum it up by thinking about people, places, and things. People, who will support me in this? Who will be with me in this? And I've told you many times, don't rely on that. Don't rely on that. Because many of you, like me, can think about, wow, people whom you invested in, you thought a lot of, you really put your heart into it, and they're not with you in where you thought they would be. They're not with you in the midst of what you're doing now. But let me tell you, when you talk about people, God knows more people than you do. We don't have to network. God has done it all. If God has called you to it, he's going to take you through it, right? He's going to make every connection that you need. He's going to make sure that it's done. And as a matter of fact, it's already done. That's right. That's right. I want you to dream and I want you to believe. All right. Can you say that? Can you put that there? Dream and believe. Dream and believe. We're not just walking around in a dream. We're not just dreamers, but we believe God to bring to pass that which he's put in our spirit. So people, that's always a part of our equation. We think about people, but God says, I know more people than you do. And I've already designed for those who will connect with you. It's in my plan. If you'll but work the plan, God has already done that. Okay, so I said people, places, right? Where will this flourish? How will it happen? Where should I go? God is going to do that. He's going to direct your paths. He directs our paths. Sometimes as you connect with people whom God has given you to connect with, places emerge that you never even thought of. They may say, well, how about here, right? Or I have this situation here. Come and do what you need to do here. Places, people, places, yeah, things. You may think that you don't have the things that you need to prosper, to survive, to get it off the ground. Things includes money, yeah, includes all those things that you may stand in need of to do what God is giving you to do. But I want you to believe today that whatever it is that you have need of for what God has given you in the dream, I want you to trust that God's going to bring that thing to pass. I really mean that. I really mean that. I'm seeing God do some wonderful things. And not only that, but even in the lives of many whom I'm connected with. Yes, there have been over this past year some hurtful things. And I don't want you to get stuck in that. All right. I don't want you to get stuck in the painful situations, the disappointing situations, disappointments, hurts, any of that. I want you to know that God's got you. Yeah. Tell somebody God's got you. He does. He does. He knows the end from the beginning and he has it planned out. All he wants you to do and all he wants me to do is to be willing to walk in it. Are you willing? This is our midday chat for today. And we're talking about it's that time again. It's that time where you're going to hear people talking about all the changes they're going to make, what the new year is going to hold for them. But for us, let's not leave God out of the equation. It's okay to go back to him and say, Lord, is this thing that I keep working on, is this really your plan for me? It's okay. Is this really what you have for me? Or is this the timing for this that you have for me? Show me, because if I keep trying to jumpstart it, get it to work, get it, and it's just not falling into place, maybe it's not a no, maybe it's just not time. But there may be something else that you continue to push to the side for whatever reason, right? Don't have the people, don't know the place, don't have all that I need, the things. God's going to give you everything you need, but maybe that's the one you need to pick up. And then maybe there's just a fresh start for you. Fresh start. Are you willing for that? Are you willing to see that happen? Where God says, you know, I got something new for you. New, brand new. Yeah, I'll make all things new. Woo! I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I don't know about you. But God, do what you need to do, right? Do what you need to do in and through me. When you've been through enough, you get to that point where you're saying, Lord, you know what? Just do what you desire to do in and through me. Yeah, but don't wait till you get to the end of yourself. Give God first place. And then you don't have to deal with that, right? You don't have to deal with that. Elaine, bless you, bless you, bless you so much. Kathy, bless you. You know what? I want you all to dream and dream big. I want you to believe that we serve a God who is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we could ever ask or think. What is it that you can ask? What is it that you've dared to think? Well, let me say this. Let me leave this with you. God is able to do exceeding abundantly above that. Yeah, even that. Do you hear me? Even that. So I want you to be encouraged today. Know that God is able to do greater, and he wants to. It's not just that he's able to, he wants to. He wants to do greater in our lives. Amen. He wants to do greater. Don't worry about the people. Don't worry about the places. Don't worry about the things. God has made provision. Yes, God has made provision. Yes, I see you, Elaine. Yes. Isn't that something, Kathy? Said she went to Houston for Christmas. Never saw myself going there. But look at that. Look at that. God did it. God did it. And maybe that's something you thought, oh, I'll never do that. But God has connected you to people, other places, and things. Isn't it wonderful? Yes, he's that kind of God, Elaine. He's that kind of God, and we thank him. Well, listen, I want to thank you all for being with me. And I pray that you'll be back on the next day that we're together, which should be tomorrow, if you're catching this live. And so those of you who catch it later, we appreciate you. And we're believing God for great things. We're determined to dream again. Don't you dare let anybody talk you out of your dream. Don't you dare let anybody talk you out of next steps that God has for you. They may say you're not the one. Amen. But oh, my. We believe God. You're the one. If he's called you, you're the one. He called you to it. And he's able to take you through it. Thank you so much, my dear sister. And happy 2023 to you all. Let's stay safe. Let's stay encouraged. Okay? And we're going to go forward. We're going to go forward. We just thank God for all things. Let's live a life of gratitude. Let's see what we share, what the Lord puts on our hearts for tomorrow. Amen. Should tomorrow come. All right. Well, we bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. We thank God for you. Charlotte, good to see you. Good to see you, Charlotte Cooks Duncan Smith. Good to see you. And to come be with us tomorrow, if you will. All right. All right, connected to Jesus. That's it. That's where we want to be, right? We want to be connected to him. Let's pull this word off the page. Pull it off the page and begin to live it. God bless you. Have a wonderful afternoon.